Hello there, my name is Mr. Garcia and I'm the Curriculum Area Leader for Geography. In the presentation I'll hopefully be giving you lots of reasons as to why you should definitely consider doing A-level Geography at Penistone Grammar School. So firstly, just a little bit of information about the syllabus, etc. We follow the AQA syllabus. Our structure is physical geography makes up 40%, human geography is the next 40%, and that leaves us with 20%, which is our non-examined assessment, which is coursework which is submitted to the exam board, marked by teachers, moderated by the exam board, and you will not be sitting in an exam in that. That's like I said, submitted and marked prior to the assessment window. The examinations take place at the end of year 13, so 2 years of practice and preparation to sit the exams, formal exams at the end of year 13, and the entry requirement is a grade 6 GC geography. So what were you covering in year 12? Physical geography units of water and carbon cycles, so lots of interlinking with other subject areas there. So we'll look at things like transfers and stores of water, changes to flooding zones in the UK. So we'll look at a small-scale case study in Pickering and what they're doing there, very innovative to try and reduce flooding effects. We look at also climate change and how the changes in climate are impacting our stores and transfers of water across planet Earth, and what's being done to try and mitigate and prevent those transfers and changes occurring. We're also going to look at the carbon cycle, which has lots of interlinks into maybe work you've covered in year 11 around climate change, but also little links into biology, for example, about carbon and why carbon is such an important component in the world's and global systems. So as part of the carbon cycle, we'll look at things like how that interlinks with forest fires and wildfires in Los Angeles and California, and the broader picture of how those water cycle and the carbon cycle are interlinked. We also look at coastal systems and landscapes. So we'll look at the Holderness, for example. We'll actually go and visit the Holderness coastline and see those processes actually in action. So things like erosion, deposition, transportation. We'll look at the landforms that are being created there, but also look at, what changes are we expecting to see in the near future, and what's being done to try and manage those changes because of erosion. For example, the Holderness coastline being Europe's fastest eroding coastline. Our human topics are changing places, so very contemporary, kind of thing you'd study as an undergraduate at university. So looking at the nature of a place, the characteristics of a place. So you as a local person, what's your perception and view of somewhere like Penistone, and how does that differ to someone who's from outside of Penistone? So maybe a tourist, a visitor, or someone external, a visitor to the school who's not from the area or from the surrounding area. How do their perceptions and feeling for the place? So again, very contemporary, very abstract. We look at places like New York and how that place has developed and changed. So lots to get into there, lots to think about. Obviously contemporary urban environments, touched a little bit of some of the ideas of the GCSE, but radically different as well at the same time. So we're looking at low income, newly emerging economies. We're looking at the growth of cities, urbanisation, suburbanisation, so the outward growth of our cities in the UK and further afield, but also places and processes like counter-urbanisation. COVID has accelerated the movement out of cities like London into the countryside. So how are those processes unfolding, and what's the impact of those? I think the key thing to remember about year 12 is it's contemporary, it's up to date, it's modern. There's lots of challenge there that's going to really stimulate your thinking, and it's going to build on some of the knowledge that you acquired in year 10 and 11 at GCSE, but in a very different context. So you're not going to be rehashing and revisiting same old case studies, same old content. You'll be doing it in a different context, much more contemporary, much more relevant to you as young people today. In year 13, physical geography, we look at topics like hazards, which is a really popular topic, very exciting. So seismic, so earthquakes, volcanic. We look at storms like Superstorm Sandy and Typhoon Haiyan, the impacts of those, the causes for them. But we also look at wildfires. So we look at places in Canada, but also like Los Angeles and the huge fires that have taken place this year. Around California, some of the biggest on record, and places like Australia, and how the landscapes adapted to those fires and what the causes and what's the management of those. We continue a little bit of coastal systems and landscape, which we started at the end of year 12 into year 13. And our human geography topic, global systems and global governance, look at how certain areas are developing, you know, what global systems around stewardship around places like Antarctica, and what treaties are there, and how that resource and that wilderness area is being protected and managed, and how that will shape in the future. Unit 3 on non-examined assessment, which makes up 20%, is a fantastic opportunity for you as geographers to really explore an area of your interest. So you'll plan and collect data for a piece of field work of your choice. So it's not something your teacher's going to tell you to do. If you've got a particular interest in physical geography, maybe the water cycle, or maybe you've got a particular interest in looking at an urban area, a town or a city, that's something you could do. It's really great in the sense that you've got complete control, well, obviously with your teacher support as well, to choose an area. So we've had students in the past do the non-examined assessment in New York, and they looked at the environmental impact assessment of the High Line, which is an urban park. We've had people go to Scarborough and do studies there, but we've had people also in Penistone area and further afield in Sheffield and Leeds as well. So great opportunity for you to really sort of choose what it is you want to study, and link that with some of your interests. So maybe, you know, we had a student last year or the year before who was really interested in architecture, and she looked at how architecture impacted the environment in Sheffield city centre. So again, the scope is endless really, and a great opportunity for you to explore things of interest for you. In terms of trips and visits, we run a 3-day, 2-night residential to North Yorkshire in preparation for your non-examined assessment. And that's a fantastic opportunity for you to explore different types of field work. So we go to the coast, we do an urban day, we look at a moorland and afforested and deforested area, and a real opportunity to acquire a lot of the skills and knowledge about how you go about collecting field work. We also have planned to offer an opportunity to enrichment for New York, which is a trip we successfully ran a few years ago, and we're looking to try and replicate that again for 2022. Obviously dependent on COVID and various other factors that we'd have to take into consideration, but that's our aspiration, to try and run that trip again. Fieldwork opportunities are really important. We do need you to be aware that during the year 12 part of the topic, you know, fieldwork skills and being able to collect data and being able to use data and manipulate it is really key. The field trip dates are Wednesday the 20th to 22nd of October 2021, and you do need to be aware of those dates because that's really important that you come and attend. And obviously there is a cost associated with that, approximately £240. You know, food is allocated for, it's a complete price, transport, accommodation and teaching, and like I said, an invaluable visit. Equates to about 3.5 weeks of extra teaching, but more importantly, it allows you to be really successful in your non-examined assessment. So why study geography? You know, hopefully I've given you a few ideas and thoughts to be thinking about the content, but really the fact it's dynamic, it's really relevant, it's up to date, it's constantly evolving and adapting to what's happening in the news. Not only do you develop a whole range of skills such as essay writing and structuring arguments, but also analysis. You become much more analytical in your thinking. We use data as well to manipulate and to present arguments based on factual data, which is a really important skill set to have, especially in today's modern workplace. Research tasks and teaching styles provide an excellent opportunity at university. So we do a variety of teaching. Some is more lecture based, some is more independent, some is peer and group based. So a real range of teaching techniques and teaching strategies and environments that you'll experience. And also, as geography is highly regarded as a mission for university. You know, it's certainly acknowledged as geography A-level being a facilitating subject to go on to do a wide range of different possible degree courses. So why geography at Penistone Grammar School? Got a strong academic record. We've been good or outstanding over the last 5 years. In 2019 we were graded 2, so we're in the top 10% of A-level grades, which obviously really pleased with, which means our students went on to go on to do lots of things that they wanted to do at university, including lots of people doing geography degrees. We have a strong record of students achieving A star and B, and it will work really well and build on lots of your understanding at GCSE. So if you enjoyed GCSE, it's something that you felt that challenged you and really sort of got you thinking, then A-level geography is really going to push you and extend you even further. How does it combine with other subjects? Well, lots of our A-level students will commonly do physics, biology, chemistry, or maths. It ties brilliantly with English and history and psychology and sociology because of this nature of the mathematical science, analytical side, but also the art side, the essay, the argument, the structuring a viewpoint and be able to put forward your ideas. So we find it goes hand in hand with a variety of subjects. The maths element, the mathematical, the number side will support the science side and the mathematics, while the English and the argumentative side of geography and structuring those arguments and being analytical will obviously support your more arts-based subjects like your English and your history. Wide links to career paths: engineering, law, environmental science, journalism, accounting, environmental issues, environmental engineering, lots and lots of scope for a wide range of jobs that are available for people doing not just A-level geography, but moving on to do a degree in not just geography, but a whole host of other degrees, which it ties really nicely with. So hopefully I've provided you with enough information there just to get you thinking. We have got a question and answer session on Teams, so please do feel free to drop us a question. It might be about more detail about what you're studying or career prospects with a geography A-level or geography degree, or what other degrees can you do with it. We're there to support you and make the right choice, but we do really think that doing A-level geography at Peninsula Grammar School would be a really smart move. So we hope to see you in the near future. Thanks very much for listening and watching.